Up next, the Bears are on the road to face the Browns, two teams that have played each other just 16 times since 1950. Chicago's looking for their fourth straight win against Cleveland, and it's coming your way next.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is Jakeem Grant. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out the 11th overall pick of the 2021 draft. Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
And he's had good success here already this season throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in his 2 games. He's really got this offense playing with a lot of confidence, trying to establish themselves early as a Super Bowl contender.
And right away they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. And, Charles, we get a look here at the key inactives, and I tell you what, a big list for being this early in the season.
If there's any silver lining at all, you're hoping you can get these guys back, and now you'll play well down the stretch with them. But what you're also hoping is that the guys who have to play for them, the next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business. Normally, you see 3 tight ends in a formation, you have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately, he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Malik McDowell able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns set to go on offense for the first time, led by Baker Mayfield in his 4th season now from Oklahoma.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And his first carry, he loses the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready, and above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Charles, a look there at the Bears draft class for 2021. A lot of guys there that will wind up contributors. I think you agree with that. But this draft, ultimately, it's going to come down to one question. Was Justin Fields the right choice or not? Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations.
And he lost the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
What a banner year in 2020 for Myles Garrett. Gets his Cleveland Browns to the playoffs for the first time in a long time and had 12 sacks to lead his team. He's averaged more than 10 sacks a year in his 4-year career and was named All-Pro for the first time after the 2000.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And that is going to skip out of bounds. So a break there for sure. They'll hold on to the possession at the 5-yard line. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone came around with a lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Myles Garrett picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. On is Santos for the Bears field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 18 carries, 107 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. $3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
On 4th down, on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
first down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
3rd and 2, Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he will have the Bears first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Fields going to keep it running right. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by the rookie Greg Newsome. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger.
Tried to drop it in there, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to get the football here at their own 23. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning them into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
The Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Fields on first down, looking for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Mayfield now from the 50. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he is going to have a Browns first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. And this is going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. The Lions trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead over the visiting Colts as that one's gone to halftime. A.J. Brown, a touchdown catch in that first half. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan with 3 touchdown passes there. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there. In a game where 1 field goal was all these offenses could muster in the first 2 quarters, you figure both coaching staffs were needing to make plenty of adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we send it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Yes, indeed, Coach. Thanks. Hey, we could use a touchdown. 3-0 as we welcome you back in. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. Now here's Johnson. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26. The Browns offense getting set to go to work here to start the third. And they're down on the scoreboard. Sort of a sloppy first half. Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a little fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up. Make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half. Too many turnovers. Tighten things up.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the Bears are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. And that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
To throw again on second down. Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 37. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. First down, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 41.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And that's a nice throw right there. And I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college offensive coordinator that showed about 10 different drills that he runs with his quarterbacks to show them how to get out of the pocket, how to get comfortable when they're doing so, and to make plays under that type of duress. That's an example of what we're seeing the colleges deliver to the NFL. First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Fields eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Escaping the pressure right. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounce back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Here comes Johnson on the return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Mayfield now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
Chubb will get the call running left, and he'll get this only up to about the 35. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 3rd and short yardage, Mayfield. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield and finding the tight end Hooper. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
He's going deep for Brown, and it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself, because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw to.
Touchdown, Bears! Jimmy Graham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter, because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Let's go, Spot.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
44, Mike, 44. So don't say nothing.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
That's us. That's us. All right, baby, yeah.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following the fumble recovery, Fields sliding out of the pocket. And Graham on the ground. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Now it's Fields.
Flush to his right. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal.
Dancing to his left. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Justin Fields.
His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year.
And the Bears are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter.
Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Robert Quinn. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
To try again after the sack, Mayfield. Robert Quinn, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Throwing, Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
Mayfield able to find Hunt out of the backfield.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Bears, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3.